T-minus 90 seconds and counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start. And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond. Discovery's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to swivel, aiming the shuttle for its precise target in space for main engine cutoff.
Should have a good forward leg now in SM. Okay, you sound good. Discovery Houston, negative return. Copy, negative return.
I saw her today at the reception, a glass of wine in her hand. I knew she was gonna meet her connection. At her feet was a footloose man, and I said that you can't always get what you want, honey. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, well, you might just find that you're what you need. Ah, yeah, yeah. So I went to the Chelsea drugstore your friend Jimmy. A man, did it look pretty ill? We decided that we would have a soda. My favorite flavor is cherry red. I sung my song to my friend Mr. Jimmy, and he said one word to me, and that was dead. I said that you can't always get what you want, honey. And you cannot always get the man that you want. And you cannot always get the man that you want. But if you try sometime, it just might find, it just might find, to get what you need. Yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Now, hit me. Reception in a glass was a bleeding man. She was practiced at the art of deception. I could tell by her bloodstained hands, and I said that you can't always get what you want. Oh, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, it just might find, it just might find get what you need. Ah, yeah. And you can't always get what you want. And you can't always satisfy your greed. Ah, you can't always get what you want. Baby, try sometime, it just might find, it just might find, to get what you need. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby.
Good morning, you filthy apes. Welcome to AMC and ADD, where we buy, we hold, and we screw the hedgies. Screw them. Good morning, guys. Oh man. You guys, I know we're gonna get into it today. We're gonna get into it. I know it. Apes together, rock strong, stay cool. Don't make any rash decisions. That's what I'm gonna tell you right off the bat. A lot of people are gonna make a lot of assumptions right out the door. I've already been getting forwarded messages constantly. Last night I tried to stay off of Discord just because I knew I was getting hammered by information I hadn't even read. I mean, you guys know I burned out the keyboard and had to go rushing over to Costco, pick up a keyboard. Then I got home and my wife's like, we have no propane to cook the food. And I was running back out the store again, getting propane. By the time I finally had a chance to sit down and start reading stuff, it was like 9 o'clock at night. And I was like, oh man, this is sucky. So I'm starting to read into stuff, and then I'm getting told I need to go sit in a Discord conversation and listen what's going on over there. So I go over there and listen while I'm reading, and there's a lot to talk about here, and part of the reason why this song fits so perfectly today. You can't always get what you want, but you know, if you try, you might get what you need. I think it fits so perfectly with what's happening right now. Adam Aaron he's listening. He's listening. He's absolutely listening. There is a lot of people out there who've been asking for a share count. They've been asking for this share count for a long time. This is the closest he can get to giving them that share count that they want. This gives them an opportunity to see what happens when people have to supply shares, if there's more in existence than there's supposed to be. What happens if they have to supply that? Another part to this, though, is that he's also saying that he wants something in return. and he wants the ability to be able to create some of those shares and take them and turn them into AMC shares if he gets our approval. So let me tell you why this is important. It doesn't dilute Ray, not immediately. We have to vote that for that to happen. But what happens is this. The way I see it is this. When we get issued our shares, when MOASS happens, we still have our Ape shares, provided you haven't sold them. So if MOASS happens, not if, but when MOASS happens for AMC, you will still be holding on to your Ape shares, which means you still have a vote in order to turn those shares into something different. AMC shares. So you would still have the opportunity to be able to give the company the shares that they need on the backside to be able to reduce their debt, to become profitable, and guess what? Give you another round of shares. Yes, it will dilute the price. It will. But it gives you another round of shares. 1 for 1. I know I put out a tweet right off the bat. I put out a tweet yesterday. It was wrong. I mean, I really needed to sit down and really understand what was happening. So I deleted my tweet pretty soon thereafter. But we're still diving into this work. When I say we, I'm talking about a lot of people are really diving into this and really trying to figure out what's going on here. But that's essentially what Adam Aaron has done. He says, look, you want a dividend, you want a share count / recall, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to give it to you, but I'm also going to get what I want too. And I can understand that. I really can understand that because he has no assurance that when we leave this play that we're going to actually leave him something to help save the company, which is buying more shares back. There's no way for him to actually have that assurance or reassurance. This helps everybody. It does everything. It does everything that we've asked for, all in one fell swoop. It gives us what is sort of what would probably be the closest you could probably get to a share recall without actually having a share recall. It gets us a dividend, which we've been asking for, but it gets him his 500 million shares plus as well. So just remember that it's going to have to be something that we vote on eventually, one way or the other. I told you guys a long time ago before we got into this that we were going to see curveballs thrown at us that we'd never seen before. Didn't expect it coming from Adam Aaron's side like this as 3D chess, which it most definitely is, and we're trying to still pick apart this entire SEC filing for the dividend, and trying to figure out exactly what all the ramifications are and how it may affect us or impact us one way or the other. And that's going to take some time. Hopefully we can get it all done before this weekend's over and really kind of figure out like all the different aspects on how it could be beneficial or not beneficial to us, pros and cons. But we're getting what we asked for. We're getting what we asked for. Now, let's take a look at what happened yesterday. Do you guys remember on the 30-minute where I drew the tramp yesterday? And I said, there's our trampoline for bouncing from the cup and handle. There she blows. There she is. We're getting real close to it. I've moved around all the hard set data points here for both synthetic price failures and SSR being tripped. A lot of people are asking questions about, did we trip SSR yesterday in the after hours? You can't trip SSR in the after hours. Not possible. SSR is not tripped. But if market opens and we drop below this red line, as soon as market opens this morning, it will immediately be tripped at 1679. I think that's the right number. Hold on a second. Yes, that's correct. Notice that SSR says off this morning. Stonko Tracker is now showing it as off. The reason that Stonko Tracker shows it as being on is because they run a formula. And all the formula does on their web pages says, okay, this is what the price needs to be for SSR to be on. If it hits that price at any given time, turn this little flag of off to on. And so since that price was hit last night in the aftermarket hours, it started reporting as being on because it hit their value in their formula. Right here. This is where it hit. This is where it turned on. But it wasn't really on though, because we don't trip SSR in the aftermarket hours. But like I said, as soon as the market opens this morning, if we open up and we drop below 16.79 at any given point, SSR will be on. Ironically, on this 30-minute fun map here, on our cup and handle, the trampoline falls directly smack dab on where synthetic price failure would be. Smack dab. That's why I drew it where I drew it. That's why I drew it for the middle of the day today. This is hopefully the biggest, best trampoline we could possibly ever see. I think it looks pretty damn cool. 1589 is a synthetic price failure. Look how close they got this to on the first drop. They got it to within pennies of a synthetic price failure in the aftermarket. 1596 is what they got it to. 1589 is the beginning of a synthetic price failure. More than likely, I think we're going to be hitting this today. Be ready for it. I'm not scared. It changes nothing. Let me see what you guys are writing here. Well, Hayden, no, I don't think AA screwed the squeeze at all. I don't think that's the case. And I think anybody that thinks that's wrong. But you're entitled to your opinion. I just think that a lot of people are throwing a lot of haze at this. First off, I'm going to tell you right now. If you're getting information from Superstonk or you're getting your information from Wall Street Bets, those are known infiltrated sites. Do not take any information from those two sites. If your information is coming from anywhere from Reddit on Superstonk or Wall Street Bets, ignore it. It will be FUD, I guarantee you. For a long, long time, they don't even allow people to talk about AMC. So now all of a sudden they'll let people talk about AMC when it's convenient to them, but they won't, but they never did in the past. Don't you dare, I don't even want to hear anything. If anybody even comes at me with an article from Superstonk or Wall Street Bets, I will completely ignore it because I know what it's going to be. It's just going to be a bunch of FUD trying to tell us something that's not true. So just stay away from those. So we already know that there's going to be articles that are going to be printed that are trying to tell us that something bad's going to happen to us. There's going to be all kinds of fear mongering going on right now. Those who want us to sell our shares are absolutely going to try to make us feel like this should be something we should be upset about. I'm not upset. I'm going to stay cool. Nothing has changed here. It doesn't change anything. Micah says, turning off your share lending, you will not get your dividend. There's a lot of debate about that right now, and I'm gonna say that could be the case. I've been saying for a really long time to everybody, cash account only. Turn off your share lending. That would be accurate. Nothing has changed from what I've said from the get-go. If you have a margin account and your shares are on loan, there's a chance that you may not get a dividend. So you can't assuredly say that your shares aren't on loan if you're in a margin account. You just can't. You don't know if they are, or you don't know if they aren't. So I can tell you right now that the massive amount of people who start turning off share loaning because of this and moving from margin to cash accounts is probably going to be epic. It's going to cause all kind of craziness inside the market. This is actually forcing people to do things that they didn't want to do, but should have done a long time ago. And that alone right there is going to cause massive chaos within the market and trying to recall their loan shares. This is good stuff, guys. It's good stuff, but stuff that should have been done a long time ago, but nobody wanted to. Bovdov says, "Did we get the kitchen sink today?" We did. I'm going to tell you right now, we did get a bit of the kitchen sink in the aftermarket hours. If you want to know what a kitchen sink looks like, that is definitely a kitchen sink. There was definitely 100% a kitchen sink thrown at us. Not the kitchen sink, but that was definitely what you saw in the aftermarket hours, a type of kitchen sink being thrown at you. Yes. Hold on a second, AP. Let me check it out. Yeah, I would. I'm actually going to open. That's where I'm going next on this. I'm gonna run through the numbers first here, guys, and then I'm gonna open up the back of the big tramp. And we're gonna use today. This is kind of my plan from the get-go. We're gonna use it today as a chance to talk as a community, and I want to hear your voices. So I'm gonna open up the back of the big tramp. We can pile all up in here. We get nice and cozy. Maybe we'll light a few doobies. I don't know, whatever you call them. And we're gonna have a powwow. We can have a little powwow and talk about things. And I think that's what a community does. A community talks. I'm not just gonna be the only talker on this. I'm gonna let you guys have a voice. We can sit down and talk about it. So I'm gonna open it up here in just a little bit. Let me run through the numbers real fast, and then I'll go into the back of the big tramp. So if you guys want to head that way now, you can just sit there and wait, and I'll be there in just a few minutes after I get past the numbers. You got so much stuff you're typing in here. I'm like so far behind on this, it's not even funny. Did Nicole Kidman sign another contract? Oh my gosh. Hey Ray, we were already going to drop to 14 to 15 bucks already. We knew that was coming long before this was even announced. I was surprised it took until the aftermarket hours to happen. And the fact that they did it in one fell swoop shows me how much more desperate they are than ever to try and fear us into selling. Darren said some day traders might decide to hold for a change. Yep. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people changing how they're dealing with this stock, and it's gonna be kind of epic. Let me see. I'm gonna probably skip over a lot of what you guys are saying in here because I just want to kind of get to the numbers and then open up the back of the big tramp and we can just start talking. Nope, there's no pay for entry. Boring most days. I don't do that. I don't do that around here. That's not how I operate. Monty, thank you for that 1511 to 1811. I got you down. Yeah. Future Will says, "Yep, we needed a retest. It's actually a really good thing that we dropped." It is. Our RSI was hot on like every single, even the weekly was hot. It was over 50. So I mean, we needed this drop in order to cool off RSI, get a little bit of consolidation, and then we can just take off a little bit. All right, let me go over the numbers, guys. I'm gonna go over the numbers, and then I'm gonna open up the back of the big tramp. We could talk, and I'll catch up on what you guys are saying here. So give me a few minutes. Just kind of relax, stay cool, stay cool. We got this. I can already. Don't panic, guys. Don't panic. We got this. Monty's saying next week we should see some price action. I think so. If you go back and if you remember what happened with GME when they had their dividend, it absolutely, there was a ton of buying going on for that dividend. And in fact, we haven't seen good buying on AMC since that happened. So this is going to this is going to bring in a lot of investors that want to have that dividend issued to them. There's going to be a lot of people who want a piece of that action. All right, glasses are on. Oh man, I went and got my bottle lens cleaner refilled, and it looks nice. All right, let's go through these numbers here. I'm going to log in real quick. Yeah, I told my wife last night, Apes or Us, I was like, I think this is going to be an all-nighter. I actually fell asleep with my glasses on while reading, while listening to people talking last night in a Discord, and I wasn't participating very much, but I went ahead and um, I was in there just listening. So, yeah, I fell asleep like that. Two-factor authentication, guys, if you don't have it, you may want to consider it. I say the things that I say for a reason. There may be a time in the future where you're going to potentially wish that you had done it and then maybe not have listened. So you might want to start checking it out now, because in the future, when I tell you things like cash account only, I say them for a reason. There's a reason. I'm trying to project what's going to happen in the future and give you guys warnings. I don't just say this stuff for no reason at all. I say it constantly because I know it's going to help save you in the future. Two-factor authentication. If you don't have it, look into getting it. Try it out. See if you like it. If you don't, you can get rid of it. Not a big deal. All right, let's take a look at our numbers. This is a first run through for the day on the numbers here, so give me just a few minutes. I also had to buy a new keyboard and reset up the whole computer and everything, so I'm kind of getting used to the new setup. I know it's like just a keyboard, right? Nah, it changes things. All right, taking you guys over to the other page here. Oh, yep, here we go. It's already jacked up. Let's see here. Let's get this back online. Starting in the top left-hand side, we all got price prediction tally points yesterday. Even with the spread that we had on price prediction tally points, we still managed to all get points, which is actually amazing because I thought for sure there was no way that everybody was getting points yesterday, and somehow we just managed to pull it off. So let's take a look at that. Price prediction tallies for yesterday were I had 1625 to 1925, Eric had 1720 to 2020, Keto had 1839 to 2139, and Monty was the closest to not making it. He had 1856 to 2156. He made it by 10 cents, but he made it. That's all you got to do. So he did it. He got in there, and price prediction tally points to every single one of us. Let's go ahead and tally those up real fast here. Tiebreaker Friday. Whoever has the closest average price to closing price will be the winner for the week. And I can almost guarantee you guys they're going to let us go into a 2-day weekend after having tripped SSR, because I'm almost positive they're going to trip it today. They're going to let us go into a 2-day weekend and sitting on some kind of price that's lower, almost undoubtedly. All right, so let's see what we got going on here next. True Demons, MOASS trigger indicators. Let's start off with short exempt volume. Rose from 266.1 to 432.7. Let me check utilization, see if that's still at 100%. While that's refreshing, let's look up. Yesterday was an up day of 2.47%. Over the last 3 days, I think that's still enough to count for 3 of 3. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that as a green. That should be green. Why isn't that not green? Oh, did I not save this? I have no idea. Let's see here. Let's turn that into green. There we go. And utilization is showing 100%. And the date says August 4th, which is correct. So we are now at 124 days of utilization being 100%. Max pain was 15. I think it was 15 yesterday. I think I refreshed this last night and it changed to 1550. But maybe it was 1550 yesterday. No, that was 1550 yesterday. I forgot. It started out the week at 1450 for the first 2 days, and we went to 15 on Wednesday, 1550 on Thursday. Let's see what it is today. I'm guessing it's got to be at least 16 now. Max pain, $16. Off exchange, yesterday's total numbers by the end of the day. $50.15 through the off exchange and 15.01 through the EDGX. Yesterday's volume through our off exchanges was only about a 1.16% higher than what I would consider to be an average day. Do note that the EDGX got 15.01%, which is much higher. I usually would expect to see that close around like 12% by the end of the day. So there was a lot of our extra additional volume went through options. So there was a lot of option play yesterday. Moving down to institutional ownership. $191.248 was the last number when I had to reboot everything from last night. The numbers that we had from yesterday was 191.154. So let me give it a refresh and see where we're at now. 191.254. And let's take a look at Vortex data is showing shares on loan 127.33. I can tell you this right now, guys, because a lot of us are doing some talks on the sides about other things besides the dividend, and we're talking about like what are hedge funds going to do? What's going to be their goal over the next 2 weeks here? Between now and the 19th. And part of it is that they're probably absolutely crapping themselves right now. I mean, just really crapping themselves. Closing out as much short interest is going to be like a massive goal for them. So they're probably going to push really, really hard down now and preparations for what's to come. I don't know how far price is going to go down, but I'm going to stay cool because I know what this eventually means though. So I can see them pushing the price down as super hard as they possibly can here. Shares on loan did decrease almost 10 million shares. It was about 7 million. 7 million shares decrease. I'll take a look here in just a few minutes and add up all the numbers and see how much it was short interest. But you can see that the estimated short share interest of the free float right now is 18.4. And let's take a look at these options over here and see where lottery ticket losers are and everything in open interest. Open interest at a $30.50 strike price went from 5.3 thousand contracts to 5.4. There is a lot of contracts that were filled at numbers that are higher strike prices. They opened up 6 new strike prices since Monday: 31, 31.5, 32, 32.5, 33, and 33.5. And there's a lot of contracts in there already. There's 3.6 thousand contracts at 33.5. Highest amount of open interest for calls is at a $20 strike price. Yesterday it was 14.2 thousand contracts. There's now 16.6. At a $15 strike price. For puts, yesterday there was 12.2 thousand contracts. There's now 15.9. So our calls versus put volume is really close, and the market's signaling for a closing price for the end of today somewhere between $15 and $20. We're currently at 17. We're almost almost smack dab in the middle, about 50 cents lower than that. Max pain is $16, so I'm expecting to see something at least that low. $16 happens to be that cup and handle bottom point for the handle that I've been talking about, and I've been waiting to see this 16 happen. That's why I got the trampoline where I got it. So let's go over to the other page here. We'll take a look at the Ortex today. I'm getting real close to the end here, guys. Hold on. Don't be impatient. You've waited so long. Just keep holding. Keep holding. It's like worse than sitting on a phone call having to listen to the music on hold. Let's see here. What do we got going on here? Move this page. This page. This one. And this one. All right, let's take a look at the Ortex data a little more closely here. There's your 124 days of trading days of 100% utilization. We're going to zoom in on just current time. Here's your on loan amount dipping from 131.76 to 127.3. Oh, it's less than what I said. I think I was thinking it was 135 before, but it was 131. So we dipped from 131.76 to 127.33. Let me get out my calculator real quick. $4.43. So I'm just going to say 4.4 million shares. And then our estimated short share interest of the free float dipped from 18.7 to 18.4, so 0.3. Hold on a second, I'm going to write a number down. Let's see, so 0.3. So 1.54 million of that 4.4. So I'm just going to call it 1.5. 1.5 of the 4.4 was short interest. roughly, by the estimations of Ortex's numbers. Let's take a look at the on-loan average age per day. On-loan average age per day continued to go up. It was more slight this time, which means that they're closing out older positions, but it still did go up. It went from 61.72 to 61.92. Still went up. So most of those were newer to mid-range on loan and short interest amounts that were closed out. Security lending volume spiked again. Went from 13.92 to 19.3, back up to 19.3. We are not on any threshold lists. The failure to delivers, like I said, they kind of had died off a little bit here. I imagine these are going to start picking back up again here pretty soon. Pretty certain these failure delivers are going to start picking back up, and when you're going to start seeing them start stacking again. Just give it a little bit of time. Orders by Fidelity customers. AMC came in 7th yesterday with a 48% buy to 52% sell ratio. Expect to see that to pick back up here. GME is 22nd with a 51% buy to 49% sell ratio. Trigger price for SSR is $16.79. Shares available to borrow. There was 1.3 as of midnight. Looks like they borrowed every last cent of those once, twice. Let's see. I'm going to have to break out my calculator on this. Holy moly. Look at this, guys. At 3:16 this morning, there were 0 shares available across the board. 0. Nothing. They borrowed everything there. Oh, man. I've never seen this. This has never happened before. They are crapping their pants, guys. They're scared. If they're scared, there's no reason that we should be. I can tell you that for sure. Let's see here. 1.25 plus 72,000 plus 28. Okay, I'm getting 3.25 million shares. I'm rounding down. It was actually 3.27. So 3.25 million shares having been borrowed for the day-to-day so far. Is that right? Wow. All right, that's really high. 3.25 at a 6.8% fee. Oh man, we're back over 100K in the call options out of the money. We got 102.9 thousand contracts out of the money on the calls versus 57.3 thousand contracts that are in the money. 88.5 thousand contracts are out of the money on the puts versus 4.7 thousand contracts that are in the money. Hopefully, people didn't get caught with those call options that they thought they were making crap tons of money on into closing yesterday. Yesterday would have been a great time to close out those positions, but if they didn't, you know, this is why the market makes money. Eastern side of the world was mostly green. Let me check the futures here. Looks like we're opening up flat. We're flatlined. Everything is flatlined right now. It's neither up nor down. It's just pretty much flatlined. Tesla is down 0.5 in the pre-market. Amazon is up 0.01. Cinemark is down 1.81. Doge is up 4.14. Bitcoin is up 3.37. GME is up or down rather 2.76, HYMC down 3.85, Hood down 1.65, NCMI is up 0.56, AMC down 8.9 in the pre-market. Taking a look at inflow versus outflow yesterday, we had 40. Let me see. I can't math right now. 43, yeah, okay. $43 million more in outflow than in inflow. Our total amount of volume yesterday ended up being 64.9 million. Let me just refresh this just to make sure that's right. Yeah, 64.9 million shares by the end of the day yesterday. But when we closed, we were under 60, I think. My volume prediction yesterday was 65 to 85. By the end of the day, we were like literally. In fact, actually, this will update in a couple days. I would imagine that 65 will probably end up hitting, because they will probably add an additional at least 70,000 shares to push it into 65 range, which I didn't think there was any way I was going to make that volume prediction. And I know that my prediction is for the end of the day, which is market close, not necessarily after hours. But still, to see the after hours hit like that, kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Volume so far this morning, we're already at 166,000 shares having been traded, with another 10 minutes still yet before our pokey stick of volume, which should give us a pretty decent uptick here. We'll check it out here in just a little bit. On the weekly, more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 53.66, which is just slightly above average. On the daily, we have more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 68.5, which again is above average. On the hourly, we have more selling pressure than buying pressure with an RSI of 38.59, which is below average. On a 30-minute interval, more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI. Hold on a second. I've got
What
music.
we, Climax, do is important because it has
Hold
a
up.
direct impact on the.
Where did that come from? I have no idea where that just came from. That was weird. What the heck? I have nothing playing in the background. Huh, weird. On a 30-minute interval, there's more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 39.31, which is below average. On a 5-minute interval, more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 49.74, which is just about average. Taking a look at the Ichimoto. Price has fallen down into the cloud. Normally likes to fall through the thinner portions, but it looks like it's going for the thick. No, it's not going to be the real thick part, but it's fallen into that thick portion of the cloud. Definitely dropped below conversion and base here. Here is the first warning sign for positions. If you do play options, and I don't really stand behind options, but some of this information that I'm showing you right here could give you a really good idea as to what's coming in the futures and prices. This would have been your option. This would have been your options point right here to where you would want to. You'd have seen this downfall coming. This would have been your first warning signs right here. And you'd have been like, yeah, this is probably a good time to get out before the end of the day here. You've got the lagging line below price line. Price is falling down into the cloud. We're probably going to drop below the cloud just a tad bit before this is over. Taking a look at the 4-hour. The 4-hour, again, same kind of thing here. We've got warning signs right here. You've got a warning sign in aftermarket hours and pre-market and during market hours that price was starting to have a little bit of problem with keeping up upwards pressure. And then you've got your first red candle right here and falling into the downwards momentum into the after hours. You still have the conversion line above the baseline, and you still have the lagging line above price line. But this is a get out sign right here, especially with price right at base. This will be moving down into the at least into the cloud, which is $16. And Let's see here. Got a little bit of a spike in volume this morning, 21.5 thousand shares. All right, I feel like it's time to head
climate.
to the back of the big tramp. Oh, I see what's happening here. Stop. All right. With that, I can see what it is you guys are writing again. Yeah, I was trying to figure it out too. I was like, where the heck is that music coming from? I was like, what the heck? Nope, this is a brand new keyboard, Dynamike. I went and bought a keyboard last night. I went to Costco originally because I know they got a keyboard there. I think it's a Razer keyboard. I was gonna buy that one, but it comes with a mouse, and I love the mouse that I have. There's nothing wrong with the mouse I got. I got a Rat 8 Plus, which I love. I've got a mouse pad already. I've got all the stuff I need, and that keyboard was 150 bucks at Costco. And I was like, I don't need a new mouse. I don't need a new mouse pad. I just need a keyboard, and I don't want all that other junk for 150 bucks. So I went over to Best Buy. I could have gone to I guess I probably could have gone to Target and probably gotten a cheaper one, but I went to Best Buy and found a very similar keyboard to what I had, and picked it up for like 80 bucks, which is I'm happy with it. But man, what a mistake, $80. Ugh. How many shares is that? It's funny when you start thinking about things in terms of shares. Yeah, it wasn't bourbon. It was 2 shots of tequila and 1 shot of Kahlua. Four says keeping it simple is the dividend bullish or bearish? I think it's bullish, but I think that there's things that we need to understand about it though. Um, I I think it's unexpected, Abby, in regards to whether it was good or bad. I think it was just unexpected. So I don't. I think it's what everybody's been asking for and then some. And that's the part that everybody's having a problem with is the and then some. But you have to realize, Adam Aaron has a business to run. I'm heading into the back of the big tramp. Hello all. I'm here.
Yo.
Testing. Okay, good. I can hear you guys. You guys want to do a mic check for me?
Mic check. Mic check.
Mike.
Good morning, Mr. Shaw. And
You guys want to do a mic check for me?
mic check.
Awesome. Thank you. No, Haze Monster, we're not. Richard says we all wanted a dividend, we got it. Well, not only that, but we wanted a lot of people wanted share counts / share recalls. This is the closest thing you can get to something that's actually going to do what a share recall should do. So it's kind of like a couple different things all wrapped into one. It's things that we asked for, but it's things that he asked for as well, all wrapped into the same package. So it's like Adam Aaron basically saying like, I'm going to give you what you want, but I'm also going to get what I want too. And I can respect that. I get it. He's not going to he's got a business to run here, guys. He's not just going to cause MOASS and say, here you guys go, have a nice, happy rest of your lives. And I don't, who cares about AMC? That's not what he's going to do. He's got to take care of the company. That's his job. That's what he's supposed to do. Garrett says, Casey, I know you normally only do live streams, but I think it would be very beneficial if you created a video to post about the facts and your opinions of the dividend and of Ape. There's a lot of BS on Ape. Yeah, there is, man. I have a feeling. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I haven't suggested it yet, but I have a feeling that that there probably will be plenty of people who put out videos that are short that will give opinions that I probably agree with. And it'll be much easier for me. Here's our pokey stick of volume. It'll be easier for me to continue to do what it is that I do, Garrett, and just comment on what other people are saying and be like, you know what, I agree with this, what this person is saying. If you want to see how I feel about it, go watch this video. It would be much easier for me to do that than for me to have to spend additional time that I already spend streaming and putting together additional videos, which takes up my weekends with family. Nope, that is not true, Brenda. We do not have to register our shares through ComputerShare in order to get those. That would be a falsehood. So our pokey stick of volume here, guys, was 202,000 shares on top of the, let's see here, 202, on top of the 168 that we had. So we had just a little more than a doubling of volume on the pokey stick, but giving us about a total of 370, which is about the same amount of volume that I think that we had yesterday. Or very close to it. So I would imagine today is going to be a very similar day in volume. So I'm going to just go ahead and guess 60, 80. Or maybe I should go 55, 75. There's going to be additional volume coming in today, probably due to what's going on. All right, I'm going to go 55, 75 because I like being safe. 55, 75 on volume for the day, but I'll probably end up being low. Mac and B's, that's kind of sort of correct. Every broker, Brenda, is going to have to get a request in order. They're going to have to put in a request in order to complete the orders that they need in order to fulfill what it is that they need to fulfill. So that's how. Every single broker will have to go out and say, I need my Ape shares for this many shares. So you want to know how you count them? You get every broker to report what they need in order to complete their obligation. That's how. Casey poll, did you read what AMC put out? Yes or no? I'm probably not going to put that poll out, just because I haven't even read it all yet. So I still need more time. There's no way that I didn't have enough time starting at 9 o'clock and last night. Actually, it was like 9:30. I didn't have enough time to even look at it all over myself before it was time. Before I felt like I was ready for bed. So. Yeah, I hear you, Garrett. I hear you, but I gotta manage my time. I gotta manage my time, and there's just no way for me to get extra time to do that.
KC,
Yes, sir.
JC, it's Mick. It's Michael.
How's it going, man?
I I have a quick question regarding obviously Ape, which was said in the earnings yesterday when it was announced about Ape was going to be put on the New York Stock Exchange and trade at essentially 1 cent per share. But for a stock to trade on the New York Stock Exchange, it has to be worth a minimum of $4 per share. Is that correct, or
Yeah, so
am I getting mixed up here, man?
we're still talking about that. That's one of the things that we're trying to figure out
Yeah,
right now. That's one of the big questions is like we know that it's going to have to be over a certain valuation in order for it to be listed. Do note that it said that there had to be approval for them to be able. I do believe that it said that there had to be approval for them to list um, the stock on the stock exchange. So I would assume that they're going to have to do some kind of value in order for them to put some kind of valuation on those shares. They have to back it up with something, right? So I'm not sure
yeah,
how that's going to work out exactly. We're still kind of discussing that and trying to figure that out, seeing if we can't find like other instances in the past where that has been done before and seeing how that worked.
yeah. I understand. Yeah,
So
because essentially it would be a penny stock. You know what I mean?
right,
Otherwise,
yeah, yeah. So I don't
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's going to be the case though. I don't think that's.
yeah. No problem. No problem.
But if there's a lot of buying pressure to get Ape shares to be able to distribute as it should be, as you can well imagine, there's going to be some violent price movement shortly after the opening of that first opening of trading for that security. It's gonna be
Yeah, I was thinking that.
it's gonna be pretty crazy because
Yeah, I was thinking that also. Yeah,
yeah, like if everybody doesn't have the shares that they need and they need to go out and get them, you're probably gonna start seeing that thing really moving. I mean,
yeah.
there's a couple
And just
different ways it could go down, right? We could see all of our price violent price movement happening on that one versus happening on AMC. It's I mean, just gonna have to live it day by day and see how it kind of turns out. But that's kind of one of the things I'm kind of theorizing about, like whether or not the price action movement's going to be on AMC itself or if it's going to be on Ape.
yeah. And you can understand because just like a couple of weeks ago when we spoke, obviously I had explained that Adam Aron, he's bound to be thinking that he needs some sort of assurances that eventually, once this thing squeezes, that he's left with a company afterwards, that we don't just literally squeeze one day, drop all the shares, sell everything, and essentially he's left with nothing, no company essentially to go forward with. So he's seeking some assurances himself, which is correct and is the right thing to do.
I agree. I mean,
Yeah,
I wouldn't expect any businessman to just allow investors to dictate what's going to happen to the company entirely. I mean, he's going to have some kind of assurance that he can continue to keep running a company after this is over.
yeah. Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks. That's all I wanted to know. I'll
Yeah.
go into the background again here.
Nelly in the Stash Sports Talk says, "Is it possible that Ape uses gold from Hycroft mines to back itself?" I don't know. Um, it would be interesting if they used. Yeah, I actually don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm not sure of the details, and it would be interesting to see if I mean they can't just take gold from the mine. I mean they would have to buy it in order for them to do something like that. But I mean, I maybe they could back it somehow to Hycroft. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they filled that position or not, yo. Carl says, do you think that's why they drove? I was expecting that price drive down, Carl, to happen throughout the day yesterday. Watching it go down right after the earnings report made so much more sense to me as it was happening because I was sitting there going like, okay, well that makes a lot of sense. Like why do it during the middle of the day when you could do it right after the announcement of the pounce and then try and create fear, uncertainty, and doubt in people in what it is that the pounce is and it it's working. I mean, we've already got people everywhere asking tons of questions and are uncertain and then now on top of that watching price dropping and it's creating a lot of fear and panic when in actuality what it should be is everybody should just stay cool and just kind of we need to talk this through, be collected, and just be patient and see what happens here as time moves forward. There's going to be aspects to this that there's no way that we're going to know or have answers. I guarantee you there's going to be some things that we don't fully understand going forward. Or maybe we don't have all the answers yet, and the answers will come later. Oh yeah, the FUD is gonna. I mean, this is textbook for what they love to do. They love to drop price and create fear amongst people, amongst the retail investors, in order to get us to sell our position. So they're absolutely doing what they're designed to do. This is all part of the playbook. Create fear and panic and get people to sell. I don't I don't think so, Savvy. I don't think fear, uncertainty, and doubt is okay. I think it is okay when there's actual things to be afraid of. I don't think that there's anything to be afraid of out of this. Nothing that was announced to me sounded like anything that we should have any fear. There is some uncertainty, but we're going to try and figure it out the best we can. And doubt. There is probably a little bit of doubt, but the fear part of it, the fear part, there should be no fear in this. I don't think there should be any. There's nothing here that I see that we should be fearful of. But we're going to get a lot of people that come in today and throw a lot of comments that are going to try and drive that fear into us, though. You watch. I guarantee you're going to see it. Tons of them. Just little tiny digs left and right. There's always going to be those digs coming. But there's really I don't see anything to be worried about at all here. David says the answer should have been explained from the get-go. I don't. I have a feeling that people are going to have a lot of questions, and I think that the answers are going to come out. And I don't think they could have possibly have gotten. I don't think there's any way that they could have fully gone through and explained anything. They probably could have, but I mean, you don't really know what kind of questions you're going to get until people actually come up with them. In a roundabout way, Maggie, it does. I mean, it's the closest thing you can possibly get to a share recall, because that's what people have been saying for a long time. They want a share count. What they really want is a share recall, which is where brokers are forced to recall their lent shares, and then you can have the recall where there's a count that occurs with the recall. This is the closest you can get to that without actually getting, because Normally, with a recall, you have to get brokers to buy into the idea that they're going to recall their shares. They'll never do that. They will never, ever, ever do that when there's as many out loaned out as there are. So this is the closest you can possibly get to getting that share recall without actually doing a share recall. Uh, I know where you've been, Ricardo. I know where you've been. You've been on Wall Street Bets reading information from there. You're literally going to a location to read about AMC in a place where they don't even let people talk about AMC, but now all of a sudden it's okay to talk about AMC. Kind of odd, don't you think? You're getting your information from the wrong sources. You need to go better places and fill your mind with things that are good information and not going into places where they're trying to create fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You're reading in the wrong spots. Don't go to Wall Street Bets. Don't go to Superstonk. Worst two places you could possibly go on Reddit to try and get AMC information. Yeah, but I know where the information came from though. You're getting it from AMC stock, Ricardo, but that came from Wall Street Bets. The original documentation that is what you're talking about came from Wall Street Bets. I had it forwarded to me last night. I know where it came from. So it just perpetrate. You have to find the origin of the data of this. You have to find the source from where the information came from, and once you find the source, then you know what the objective is of what it is people are trying to do. So two different Superstonk and Wall Street Bets has not allowed people to talk about AMC for a very long time, and now all of a sudden, now people are allowed to start talking about AMC, and so you have to question that. You have to understand that those two subreddits were infiltrated and pumping out crap information for over a year now. Overstock didn't see that Donald Young. You're doing the same thing. That's exactly what that also came from one of those two subreddits as well. That Overstock information. That was completely different. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all, Ricardo. I don't think that they can convert those 4.5 billion stock, which that's not anywhere listed in there at all, into I don't even know where you're getting those numbers from. Yeah, I'm not even going to feed into what it is that you're saying right now because right now you're just throwing out stuff that doesn't even make sense. Casey, what happens when the brokers cannot provide Ape one-to-one? The initial offering is only one float, right? So if any retail that is not given any Ape or not one-to-one amount of Ape, what happens? Great question. Somehow they're going to have to get a hold of that. They're going to have to find those. Pro Jeweler says this Ape stock is going to create a nightmare for brokers. I agree. I'm just going to insert. I'm going to insert a little thing, a side note here, guys. Remember your three golden rules. Remember the three golden rules, and number one is probably really the most important thing to remember right now. Only buy shares with money you don't need in the foreseeable future. I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be enticed or thinking about maybe possibly buying more shares with money they maybe don't have. Don't make decisions, hasty decisions, based off of what we've been seeing or reading. Do what you were going to do originally and stick to those original plans. Keto, we're not sure yet. We're still trying to figure that one out. In regards to what the ape price for the stock, I don't know the answer. Rewired. I saw you wrote that in the. I saw you wrote that earlier this morning. You said that this is AMC's birthday today, and I don't think I mentioned. I didn't even look into it. I was thinking as soon as I read you say that, I was like, oh man, I should look into this and see if that's really. I mean, it's cool. If that's the case, that's awesome, man. Funky Pizza Records. I haven't read into that yet. I have to take a look at it. Uh, One of the things I'm going to stress to you, Demainer, you have a lot on Cash App. Just wondering how they're going to work with Cash App to give apes. There's going to be, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of brokers, and I'm not going to say which ones. I don't know. I don't know which brokers they're going to be, but there's going to probably be a lot of brokers that are going to have a hard time divvying out ape shares to shareholders that should be getting them. This is where it's going to be on you to apply pressure to your broker to make sure you get what's owed to you. And Adam Aaron, I think, was pretty clear about that, making sure that you contact your broker and getting your ape share that you should be getting. That's going to be on you as a shareholder to try and make sure that you get what it is that you're supposed to get. Ricardo, I've been here for over a year and I don't feel like this is a punch in the gut at all. Not even close. In fact, I can't think of a better way to have done what Adam Aaron's done in our request for both a share recall and issuance of a dividend without doing it the way that he did it. And I never in a million years could have thought of doing something like this. But he's achieved multiple different things in one fell swoop. Now the problem is we got to sit down and try and figure out and understand how it's going to impact us going forward, so that we just understand what's coming in the future. But we've all been saying this for quite a while. This is we're gonna get curveballs thrown at us, guys. this is the start of the curveballs here. We're getting some pretty crazy curve. Hey, you guys who are in the chat here, it's pretty quiet. What's going on? Duncan, AP, what's up, guys? They're not even talking. Hold on a second, I cough. Yo, that's hilarious. You made me laugh so hard I coughed. Is it legal to call my broker and offer my shares for 15,000 each? I can tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of brokers that are going to be stressed out here over the next couple weeks.
Can you even hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. But the reason that I say that there's going to be a lot of brokers that are going to be stressed here over the next couple weeks is because there's going to be a lot of people who are moving their positions from margin accounts to cash accounts because they're going to want to make sure that their shares aren't being lent out because they're going to want to receive the ape share instead of getting paid in lieu of ownership or holding of the share. There's going to be a lot of that going on. A lot of people are going to be going in and unchecking their share lending abilities. This is going to cause some kind of what I would consider to be institutional panic. They're going to be going, oh crap, we've got all these shares on loan. We're gonna have to recall them, and then this is it's gonna start the process. It's gonna start the process of unwinding. Ricardo, you say it doesn't look good, but you're only looking at it from a bad perspective. You're not willing to see it any other way than it being bad. So it's your viewpoint that's broken. Reddit has a board member who was formerly in charge of NATO's PSYOPs, and Facebook Weasel's sister is on Yahoo board. All info is corrupt. Max Payne today is 16, Ricardo. Ooh, Apes R Us are saying you will never mistreat me again. I don't know what that's in reference to. It sounds messed up though. If I skipped over your message or something like that, I'm sorry. I don't know. I hope that's not to me. James says, Casey said we have to turn loan share back on to get the dip. No, it should be off. You don't want your shares being lent, because then you could receive payment in lieu. Because, Ricardo, it gives you an opportunity for Apes to sell their AMC shares and still have voting rights to be able to give Adam Aaron the shares that he needs to dilute when the time is right. That's why. It gives Adam Aaron exactly what he wants, and it gives us exactly what we want, all in one fell swoop, and still gives us voting rights. That's why. Fred said, Casey, would you consider this a move, a check, or a checkmate? I don't know, man. That's a good question. I think Fred, I think the way that I would answer this is I would say that we're saying check, and then we're saying mate and four. We own all the shares, Ricardo. People will have to buy them off of us in order to get those shares in order to get that voting rights. The market's been, I saw a $16 price drop coming before this even was released. So I don't agree. Everything that you're saying is absolutely wrong. I don't agree with any of it. Okay, Apes R Us, I'm glad we're good. I read what you said and I was like, no, what did I say? I don't want to piss people off. Janito, Casey, did you make a price prediction for the day? Not yet, sir. Price prediction comes in at 8:15, 15 minutes before market opens. I did make a volume prediction. Volume prediction for the day today is 55 to 75 million. Dr. Zena says, I guarantee you, hot Koch is cool as a cucumber right now. For me, because this, well, actually, maybe it is a work. No, this is not a work weekend for my wife. So this is going to be a family weekend for me. So I'm gonna have to cram all of my research into one day, which is going to be Sunday. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me, especially with reading. Janice says Yahoo couldn't get an article out, bad on AMC fast enough. Within an hour, I saw like 3. I think they had articles misleading even right before the earnings. Yep. Don't doubt it. This is textbook exactly the way that that they do this stuff. Misleading news reports followed by news followed by price movement. And this is how they scare people off into selling their shares. MCon says, I just want to see them panic. I think you're going to see that. I really, truly, and honestly think that you're going to see them panicking. I think you're going to see things that are pretty crazy. Jay's asking if I'll be in the back of the big tramp on Sunday. More than likely. There's probably not a whole lot I can do in regards to the buffering. That's how I feel, James. Price right now in the pre-market 1688. So in essence, to short the stock, it will cost them double the listed price along with cost to borrow. mm. Kind of. This is why I fully expect Oland that they're going to probably try and close out as much short interest as possible. You're going to see a huge push to try and drop this down in order to close out every last bit that they possibly can. That may be true. AMC, GME, Moonbaby, but they're not supposed to be. That may be true, but we should still get our ape dividend. Alex says WTF is Yahoo. That's how I feel, man. I second that. What is Yahoo? What's that? That still exists? I tease my wife. She still has a Yahoo email account, and I go like, "How in the world do you still get emails from Yahoo?" But then there's actually, if you go out and you look, there's actually a lot of people that still use Yahoo, and it's just like it boggles my mind. I go like, man, it's so archaic. Like it's literally the Jerry Springer of news locations. Like I can't think of a better Jerry Springer news location than Yahoo. And I guess that's what people are attracted to. So they want it. They want the drama. They want to see stuff that may not necessarily be true, but it's just enough to get you excited about reading something that tickles your fancy, I guess. Yahoo's like creative writing. Doesn't necessarily have to all be true. Keto, I got you down 1539 to 1839. And I think I skipped over some of you guys' message up there as I was scrolling down. I apologize if you see that I skip over your messages or something like that. I apologize. There's a lot more people in here right now than usual, and the messages are going pretty quickly here. So if I accidentally skip over, please just resubmit the question. Or you can go to the back of the big tramp and we just talk like normal people. American Trader says, Jerry, Jerry. That's Yahoo. Yahoo, Yahoo, Yahoo. Yeah, he can't in a share count, Dogekill, he can't prove it. I think there's a very good reason why he's saying that. I think that with something like this, he may have evidence after this is all over. I think there's a very good argument to be made that the evidence that he needs to get will come through the issuance of these Ape shares. So in regards to that, um, yeah, he's I think he's basically telling us this is going to give him the evidence that he needs. I don't think it's opening up at a penny, Charles. I don't think it can. It's got to open up for more than that, but we're not sure what it's going to open up at. We're still trying to figure that out. Thorbladed, all you have to do is just join the Discord. I can place an invite in the comment section, and you can just join the Discord and go to the back of the Big Tramp. I think that should get you there. Oh no, wait! Don't click on that one. Hold on a second. Hold on. Don't click on that. I mean it's not going to hurt you or anything. I'm going to remove that message, but let me see if I can get you the right link that will put you right back into the back. Hold on. There we go. That link right there will put you into the back of the Big Tramp, and I'll pin it to the top. No, the open value is not. There's no way, Glenn. There's no way it's going to open for 1 penny. I don't think that's going to be the case. It's going to have to be more, but I just don't know how much or how it's going to be decided what the valuation of it is going to be. Maggie says, if they just covered over 4 million shares on loan, why isn't price going up? Because they have a lot of extra borrowed shares right now, and I said earlier this morning, Maggie, that if you want to know what a kitchen sink looks like, it's kind of what you saw in the aftermarket hours was a bit of a kitchen sink that was thrown at us. That's why. The best time for stock to be manipulated in price is in the aftermarket and pre-market hours, as there's no rules on how much price can move by. Donald, I'm not sure what you're saying there. Ape stock IPO, and how does this not point 1,000 fingers already? I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. For instance, if I own 1,000 shares and the Ape is $4, I would essentially be getting 4,000. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that one, Apesaurus. I'm not going to comment on it right away because I mean, I understand where you're going with that. I don't know how they're going to come up with the valuation. Those are things that we're still kind of talking about. We're not 100% sure on yet. So I see what you're saying there. I don't know those answers yet. I still got to try and figure out some of this stuff. Yeah, Fish Killer saying it will expose the delta. That's my opinion. No, yo, always 2 weeks, man. Come on now.
My mini muffin. No, I'm good.
Hello, hello. Is that Twinkie I just heard, or was it Tim?
Wasn't me, but good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I am really hyped about the ape coin. Or the ticker. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Just kind of thinking of how a hedge fund could combat it, though. That's the only.
Yeah, Jay's reminding Jay, I appreciate you thinking about my health, man. I appreciate it. I really do. Glenn says, "Do you think that we'll actually get one of the 513 million apes?" I do. Minimum $1 to stay on the lit exchange. I do believe that's correct, Donald. But there are such thing as penny stocks, though. So I'm not really sure. There's a lot of stuff I got to do some research on first, Donald. So I don't really want to know if I don't know if I want to talk about those things just yet because I'm not certain on them.
You want this mini muffin? No, thanks.
Twinkie, how's it going? I don't think she knows I'm talking. Does she ever? Yeah, she does.
You might have to mute her.
I'll wait on it, or we'll just have fun listening to her talk. The amount of shares that are supposed to be distributed pro jeweler is supposed to be as many as there are in existence currently. Doge Cult member, yes, that should be the case.
I have to do everything. I have to do mini muffins.
That is really cute.
Everything.
That is really cute.
Just come in the morning. Yeah. What?
I can't get enough of this, guys. This is so cute. Why wouldn't the market view Ape as like a warrant worth the full cap of AMC? If we vote to convert, it would double the cap of AMC. If we had a warrant like that, we would drop to around half. Again, that's probably one of those questions I'm going to hold off on for a little bit until I understand some more. I need to go through and do a fine tooth comb of everything that's in the documentation and see where it's going. Part of the answer to that is going to be where's the valuation coming from of the new Ape shares, and if it's coming from the value of AMC's shares, then you know what you're saying would make sense, but that I don't think is the case. But I need to, again, I don't really want to comment on it too much until I get a better idea. There should be no options on Ape, and I've heard through the grapevine, and again, this is another thing that I'm gonna have to look into. But I've heard through the grapevine that for like the first 90 days there can be no shorting as well. So there's that, which is kind of exciting. 90 days of no shorting on a new ticker. So that would prove to be very helpful. Doge Colt said, "What WTF futures tanked?" Bill says, "This this basically doubles your voting rights. Make sure you have a cash account. Don't sell any AMC or Ape. You need to. That's probably, Bill. One of the things that I think that is probably most important that I don't think I've heard anybody say, and you might be one of the first. And this is one of the things that I've been thinking about is that the importance of holding those Ape shares is going to be way more important than even holding the AMC shares. And the reason that I say that is because it gives us the opportunity to still vote or have votes that count for after we've sold our AMC position. So it's going to be super critical that we hold those Ape shares. I may at a later date end up deciding the exact opposite is true, that we maybe should just sell our Ape shares and just hold our AMC shares. I'm not sure what's going to happen. There's a strong possibility that we might see the big, huge price improvement on Ape and not AMC, in which case we would sell our Ape shares and then we would hold our AMC shares, keeping our shareholder account in AMC. But I haven't really. I mean, I'm not really sure which way it's going to go. There's a lot of things I need to kind of sit down and just kind of think through pretty heavily and try and figure out. Because we might see our price improvement through the Ape shares instead of AMC. There's a lot of stuff to think about here, guys. There really is. Duncan saying, do international apes get to vote now? If you get your ape shares. If you get your ape shares. So make sure you get your ape shares. That's going to be one of the key factors here. Hold on a second, I got a cough again. Yo, both. The answer to the question is both. The question that was asked by Yo is, Casey, Ape holders vote on the conversion or AMC holders? And the answer is both.
Can you guys hear me?
I can.
All right. First, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, yeah,
This is it's Thor Bladed.
Hey man, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. I just wanted to say thanks for everything you've been doing. Love listening to you while I'm at work. There's a lot of shills and a lot of fun going on, but this is literally everything we've been asking for. If you've been here since this started, this is what we need, in my opinion.
It really is. It's exactly what we've been asking for, but wrapped into it, and I'm not gonna not call it like I see it. Wrapped into it, everything that we've been asking for is additional shares for AMC to issue it in order to help them to get out of debt as a possibility. Again, those are things that we would have to vote on. So I mean, it's really cool. It's not a bad deal, and I don't know why so many people are freaking out about it, but I tend to think that there's just a lot of shilling going on right now. And then that shilling is going over and transferring into people who are easily susceptible to reading things and then not understanding and just repeating what they've heard and not actually taking the time to do the due diligence and going through the information and actually understanding what it says and just repeating what it is that they've already heard. This is why last night, for those of you guys who are in my Discord, I didn't respond to questions last night. I didn't even want to see what you guys were writing. I wanted to take a fresh look at it and see it from a perspective that I wasn't seeing from anywhere else. I wanted to see my own fresh perspective. It's really, really important for you guys to read stuff, but not to absorb it, and to actually go out and read the information and understand for yourself what's being said, not just taking it from something you've read somewhere else and saying, it says this, and so it must be true. This is where the whole staying cool comes in. If you don't want to take the time to go read it, which I can understand. I totally get that. If you don't want to take the time to read it, don't form an opinion. Because then all you're doing is you're just going around the community just creating fear,
Yeah,
uncertainty,
and
and doubt.
yesterday when he was announcing all this, I had 5 streams pulled up. I had like Astro, I had Boss, I had trading with like I had a bunch, right? And as soon as he mentioned this, across the board, just nothing but negative comments everywhere. It was crazy. And then on like Reddit, on stock tweets, like nothing but negative posts coming out. Just everything all at the same time.
Yeah.
Just a lot of shilling going on for sure.
Yep. It's gonna happen. I mean, that's this is the part of the playbook, right? You know, create confusion and uncertainty. You know, and then drop price on top of that, and now, see, that's where the fear starts kicking in as people start seeing price dropping, and they're going like, oh my God, this is terrible. People must be selling, and that's not the case. That's not what's happening here. I told you guys we
The
would
other
probably see $16 within the next 2 days, yesterday being one of those 2 days, and we did. In the aftermarket hours, we saw, what was the price we got down to in the aftermarket hours? 1596. Yeah, 1596. Almost nailed it to the T. As this was expected.
Yeah, I just think it's fun. They always throw price action in there, but if people look back, every single time we have earnings, we dip anyway.
Yeah.
They literally saved the 5 million borrowed shares just to dump us after hours.
Yeah. Moon Baby, I think he's saying that the comments were negative, not that Boss was negative. He's talking about the comments in the comment section.
Yeah, no, yeah, not the streamers. It was just all their live chats.
Yeah.
Everything just started like chilling.
Yep. Mac and B says the only negative is the potential to vote for more dilution, which could have been proposed at any time by management. Yep. Pebble says TWE was positive. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that most everybody who is a shareholder saw this as positive. The only people who are really negative about what's going on right now are either people who are listening to what's being posted by shills or shills themselves, one of the two. And I understand. I understand the the fear there, but it's not realized. There is no realized fear here at this point. I don't see anything that I need to actually jump out of my skin about. So I'm gonna stay cool. Yeah, but you're saying things though, Ricardo, that are not entirely factual. You keep throwing out things that are not factual, and then you're trying to create fear about uncertainty of the future and what it contains in the future based off of unfactual comments. So it's really just kind of a tactic that people use in order to create fear within a community, and that's what you're doing. I don't mind you. I don't. But you're okay to say whatever it is you want to say. I don't have a filter on here. You're entitled to what it is you have to say. But I do want to remind everybody, if you guys want to silence people in this community, you have the power to do so. All you have to do is click on the buttons that are next to their name, and you can just hide the user, and you'll never see what it is they're writing again. I give you guys the power to be able to choose who you're going to listen to and who you're not going to listen to. Brexit, we don't talk about anything else other than AMC in regards to just random shoutouts. Like the only thing that I have as a rule on this live stream is that we don't talk about other tickers that are out there in regards if they don't have any kind of relationship to AMC. Why would I'm definitely concerned about dilution, Savvy, but that's not on the table. Not yet. Yeah, Brexit, no problem. Rosalie, you're welcome. I mean, $16 was on the table. We knew $16 was on the table, like, what, 2 days ago? I think we were talking about $16 being on the table 2 days ago. So, like, this dropping down to 16, and now here we are in the pre-market back up to 1704. This was no stranger to us. This was pretty obvious coming. Yeah, I understand, Savvy. There was a period of time where I was extremely concerned as well when I was that much in the red on AMC. And but here I am still, and I've only increased my position since then. And so, you know, I would hope that you would feel better about the fact that there's still people in this play who were in the red and never sold even when they went in the green by a lot. So but I totally
Yeah,
understand where you're coming from, though.
like I've literally been here since like January 26th of freaking what was it? Is it 21? I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah,
But I've
21.
gone from I bought in at like 18 that day or 17 or 18. I could have sold at like 23, 24 right before all the bull crap started happening, you know. But I held on. The shit went all the way to $4. I kept buying. We shot up to the 70s. I kept buying. I've been buying everywhere. I think if you're worried about it, you need to do more research on it. If you're stressed about it, you've probably invested more than you can afford to lose. So that's something that you need to take care of personally. But this is a once in a lifetime chance, man. Like this is a gamble I'm willing to take because the way things are now, it's gonna take a miracle for me to like end up buying a really nice home and having a bunch of kids.
Yeah. Mike is asking, Casey, are you upset about the HYMC and how it hurt AMC earnings? And no, the answer is no, I'm not. I don't think while the price of HYMC may have been down and it may have reduced the amount of earnings that we could have potentially had, it was still a net positive for the company. So it was just less than what it was positive from before, which means it looked more like it was more of a negative move. But no, I'm not upset about it at all because I still expect the economy to start heading down, and I think commodities will start rising, and I think that in the long run, it's going to be a positive thing for us. All right, I gotta take a break, guys, or I'm not gonna get one. And as it stands, I'm just gonna have like just a little less than 20 minutes here. So I'm going to step out of the back of the big tramp here for a bit, guys, while I'm on break, just because I don't want to. I don't. No offense, but I don't want there to be not somebody to moderate what's going on in what's being said in the back of the big tramp. So I'm gonna step out for just a few minutes here. I'm gonna come back at 8:15, so about 17 minutes from now, and I'll come back into the back of the big tramp briefly as I kind of do like price predictions and. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Let me get the message back up here. Yeah. Ooh, getting used to a new keyboard. It's gonna be rough. I can't tell. All right, this new keyboard's gonna take some time getting used to. I can already tell. Let me put on some music for you guys, and I'll see you in about 15 minutes. feel like this is like the intro to like Mr. Rogers or something. Hello, kids. How are you doing today? Have you put on your shoes? Did you put on your sweater? I wonder what the trolley's doing. Mr. Trolley. Oh man. This nice calming music feels very relaxing. Holy moly, it's got another minute and a half to go here. I'm gonna have to cut it off. It's so hard. You can't pick like a good cutoff point for jazz music. Alright, here we go. There we go. Let's see here. Price prediction. Today is a four-way tiebreaker on price predictions. Let me see here. El Doge says, hoping for a rock hard day. Rock hard. Let's check it out. Let's see. Well, right off the get-go, I can almost guarantee you you're going to try and trip SSR, which is going to be a 1679. Synthetic price failure occurs at 1589. The chances of them trying to hit the trampoline today are extremely high. There's our nice trampoline right there, which happens to be, amazingly, when I drew the trampoline, it happens to be exactly where synthetic price failure at a 20% failure in price, which is 1580 from the top of 1975, would be right through the middle of the trampoline. So I have a feeling that we're probably going to see I think I'm just going to call it 1518. Yeah, 1518. Well, hold on a second. Let me check and see what's that would be. That would put the average price. Oh, no, I need to go lower. Hold on a second here. I need to go lower. 1 second, because it's going to be average price that wins, right? So if I think that the closing price for the end of the day today is going to be somewhere around like 1570, then I need to ride that line. So let's go with let's say with a closing price of 16. I need to go 1450 to 1750. 1450 to 1750. That puts closing at 16. I think that'll do. Yeah, I think that'll do. I probably could go a little bit lower. I could do 1425 to 1725. I'm considering it. 1425 to 1725 might be better. Just slightly under 16. Yeah, 1425. I'm going to go 1425 to 1725 as a price prediction for the day today. I don't believe that I've got Erickson yet. He's going to text me here in a little bit. Just sent him a text message. I've got Keto in at 1539 to 1839 and Monty in at 1511 to 1811. Christopher Hines says, keep the jazz on all day, baby. I would, Christopher, but you know what the problem is with my ADD, I can't focus with the music. What I would have to do is I would have to turn down my headset so that I don't hear it and you guys do, which I could do. That's not a problem, but I've got the back of the big tramp running today, which I'm actually going to sit back in for just a minute while I'm waiting for market open. But I am back in the back of the big tramp, guys. Good to see you all in here.
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam, how's it going, man?
It's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful Friday. It's going all right.
How the kids doing? How's the kids doing?
Good. Had an emergency fit with one of them, so I had to deal with that this morning. And then hopefully we're good. No more interruptions. Manny should be able to handle the rest.
For those of you who don't know, Adam is Batman.
Hey, I'm Batman. Who all we got in here? We got Duncan.
Oh yeah.
We got Maccabee says I think Max Payne this morning went up to 16. That is correct.
Who else? Mowing at her.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Ah, excellent. Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I may have had the microphone. Yep. Which is this is them trying to keep us from communicating as they drop price. Let's see here. Let me see. What am I going to look up? I'm looking up down detector.
What's the song choice today, this morning?
We got a little bit of the Stones this morning.
Oh, nice.
Yep. A little bit of Stones.
Start me up?
Nope. You can't always get what you want.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean,
that was my next guess.
I talked about it yesterday, and I felt like after the meeting and seeing how everybody was kind of talking and reacting to everything, I felt like it was a really appropriate song for the moment. Especially because this is a lot of what everybody's been asking for. Everybody's been asking for a dividend, and then they've been asking for share recalls, which can't happen unless lenders decide to recall their shares, which they won't do. So this is the next best thing you could possibly get to a share recall. So yeah, I really think this is good stuff, and I like what I'm seeing. Adam Aaron's definitely wrapping in. It would be kind of ignorant to ignore the fact that he's dropping in the ability for him to be able to get some shares when we approve them in the process, which I think is kind of cool. It's a neat way for him to be able to give us the ability to vote for the shares even after we've moved out of our positions. I think it's kind of cool. I like what's going down, and I think it's a good thing. Everybody's getting what they wanted, and so that's why I think the song's perfect. Can't always get what you want.
Yeah. I was gonna say you could always do like Twisted Sister. We're not gonna take it.
We did that one. I don't remember how long ago it was, but we have done that song before. And I know I've done this. I'm pretty sure I've done this one as well.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Stones. I got a question. Does anybody know? I mean, like, do we know if this is a quarterly dividend or an annual dividend, or are they all considered quarterly dividends?
I think one of 2 minutes, Casey. So
yeah, I got to start the intro, so let's hold that thought for just a minute, and while we get the intro started. So I'm going to back out of the big tramp, but we'll come back and we'll talk about that right after the intro.
Good.
I'll be right back, guys. Alrighty, guys. See you on the other side of market open.
T-minus 90 seconds and counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start. And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
Solid rocket booster separation confirmed. Guidance now converging. Discovery's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to swivel, aiming the shuttle for its precise target in space for main engine cutoff.
Should have a good forward leg now and
Okay, you sound good.
Discovery Houston, negative return.
Copy, a negative return.
I saw her today at the reception. A glass of wine in her hand. I knew she was gonna meet her connection. At her feet was a footloose man. And I said that you can't always get what you want, honey. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, well, you might just find that you're what you need. Ah, yeah. Yeah. So, I went to the Chelsea drugstore. Jimmy. A man, did it look pretty ill? We decided that we would have a soda. My favorite flavor is cherry red. I sung my song to my friend Mr. Jimmy, and he said one word to me, and that was dead. I said that you can't always get what you want, honey, and you cannot always get the man that you want, and you cannot always get the man that you want. But if you try sometime, it just might find, it just might find, get your mind, yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Now, hit me. Reception. In her glass was a bleeding man. She was practiced at the art of deception. I could tell by her bloodstained hands, and I said that you can't always get what you want. Oh, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, it just might find, it just might find, might get what you need. Ah, yeah. And you can't always get what you want. And you can't always satisfy your greed. Ah, you can't always get what you want. Baby, try sometime, I just might find, I just might find, to get what you need. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby.
Thank you, Ms. Jagger. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, you filthy apes. Welcome to AMC and ADD, where we buy, we hold, and we screw the hedgies. Screw them. Good morning, guys. It's good to see you all here. Welcome back. One heck of a day today, or I should say a night last night. I mean, we basically we sat through. Well, I sat through watching the interview with Diane Garrett and Marcel and Pantheon, and then straight. Actually, there was like a half-hour break there, and then after the half-hour break, as I was trying to sit there trying to figure out whether I needed a new keyboard or not, going straight into the shareholder quarterly two meeting and listening to that. Man, there was so much to absorb, so much to absorb. I almost feel like replaying the shareholder meeting today, so we can kind of listen through the words again. Sometimes some of the words they kind of get mixed up a little bit in our heads, and going back and actually re-listening to what's said once might help hearing it a second time. But let me give you guys price predictions for the day today. I'm in at 14.25 to 17.25. Eric is in at 16.14 to 19.14. Keto's got 15.39 to 18.39, and Monty has 15.11 to 18.11. We'll see where that takes us for the day today. I'm kind of expecting we did trip SSR as soon as we crossed that 16.79 mark at market open, which was something I kind of anticipated would be the case. And so we did. SSR is now tripped. For those of you who are wondering if we tripped it in the after hours last night, it is not possible to trip SSR in the after hour or pre-market time period. It has to be during market hour, open market hours. So we did indeed trip SSR. SSR is now on, which means that short exempt volume is probably going to fly through the roof. If for those of you who know True Demon's MOASS trigger indicators, there's 3 of them that we're looking for to trigger. 2 out of 3 are flagged right now with 100% utilization, and three consecutive days with 15% or more, totaling between those 3, giving us an average of greater than 5% over a 3-day period. We have 2 out of 3 being green. And I've been saying for a long time that if we see short exempt, his requirement is 3 million in short exempt volume, and I've been saying for a long time all we need to see is 1 million. 1 million is all we needed to see that will tell us that like we're on the right track, and that it's the beginning phases of definitely moving up to newer highs. And I'm talking about all-time highs. So right now SSR is tripped, which means the short exempt volume is more than likely being mass produced, and that number will probably end up being pretty high today. But I'm just guessing. We will see. I do expect there to be there usually comes whenever there's a dividend announcement, there does tend to be some additional buying pressure from the market from people who are dividend chasers. But right now I'm sitting in the back of the big tramp, and Adam had a question before we had started the market open. Not Duncan, sorry. Adam, would you mind repeating that question?
I have the memory of a squirrel, and I don't remember what the question was.
Nuts.
Do you remember? I don't even remember. Do you remember?
No, that's why I asked you. We could go back and
give me a second.
it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You just keep talking. I'll listen to your stream. And I'll go back and I'll figure out what I asked.
Okay.
All right, give me a minute.
Man, let me start this all over. Welcome to AMC and ADD. It's not a stock ticker, guys. It's actually a condition. It's a real condition. Squirrel, nuts. Yep. Casey's broken mug says, what is a recession? Have you heard about Melvin Capital? Oh, that's right. He was asking, is it a quarterly? Is it a quarterly or yearly? This has got to be a quarterly dividend. I don't see any. If it was a yearly dividend, it would have been given out after Q1. So this has got to be a quarterly dividend. I think Savvy's right there. I think that was the question.
It was the question.
Yeah.
A quarterly or yearly dividend.
This has got to be a quarterly dividend, as a yearly dividend would have been passed out, I think, probably in the first quarter.
Okay.
I think. Do you have an alternate thought on that?
No, I mean quarterly is nice. I mean, it's kind of like I don't know if it's some kind of like backdoor payment to Ape holders. It's not to say that the squeeze isn't going to happen, right? I'm not looking to be a shill in any case. It's just, is this another avenue for them to slowly disperse money to, AMC holders, over a long period of time, because they know the severity of it if it did unfold. I don't know. Just kind of thinking outside the box here.
I might be mistaken. I think you're talking about 2 different things. I think this is a one-off dividend, so it's not going to be again unless it decides to.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, this is probably not a repeated thing. Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no. This is not like every quarter they're going to give something new, like a new dividend like this again. I think this is definitely a one-off. But it's a nice one-off though, because nobody was expecting it, and that's actually one of the questions. And I know I've heard Pantheon bring it up already. Is that Adam Aaron was pretty specific about not being able to pass out a dividend until next year. So to see the dividend come in early, especially after second quarter announcements, is much earlier than we had anticipated it ever seeing a dividend or even being possible. So interesting.
Right. No, I guess what I'm saying, like, I get that the one-off dividend, like the only time that you'll be involved, any holder currently holding on to AMC shares will be dispersed this stock dividend, right? This preferred stock dividend with a value of 1 cent, right? Initially. There's question on whether or not it can go to the New York Stock Exchange and then be traded to a different value. I sent you a link earlier, Casey, that shows a list of other dividends pertaining to stocks where if you hold on to that stock and you don't trade it on the market, you will be dispersed. It's like a stock. Like right now, the only way we make money from a stock is if we buy or sell it, right? But this dividend, you'll actually be, if you have 1,000 shares and whatever the rate is, each quarter you will be paid an X amount of dollars as long as you hold on to it. It's kind of like you're incurring interest on it. No, maybe I'm thinking of it wrong, but dividends, I mean, that's the way dividends work, but this is a one-off dividend that they do not plan on dispersing it all the time.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to. That's again, we're getting good questions all the time, so that's something I'll have to look into. Forrest is asking if we can stream the CNBC interview. Probably not. I would probably have to have access to CNBC and to see that interview, and I don't think I have access. If any of you guys have a way to be able to put that on a screen share because you have access, then I don't mind putting up. I'm looking it up right now to see if I can find it. This is not 531. Let's put in the date.
AC, it's Keto here.
Hey, Keto, how's it going, man?
Good, good. No, I just wanted to apologize. Yesterday, I went off on after the shoulder meeting, the call, and I was there on. But after sleeping on it, I'm pretty bullish on this move. I thought it was gonna be, since he talked about the split, that it's gonna look like a split. I thought it was gonna be like, they're gonna cut the price in half. I didn't know about the 0.01, and so I'm like, man, we're getting more shares, but they're cutting it to $8.50. Then they're gonna dilute half of it, and just basically steal our money. But if it's 0.01, I think we're good. Arthur yesterday in the chat was saying that it was going to be it would be 1/100ths of the price, so it would be 18 cents. But I don't think they can afford, that would be a lot of money that they take out of AMC shares. So I think it's going to be the 0.01, right?
So there's a lot of debate about this. I don't know that they can open up the stock price at a penny. I think they would have to open it up in a dollar value that's higher than that. But what we're still trying to figure out is how are they going to do a valuation of it, and how does it reach some particular valuation? I don't know the answer to that yet. We're still trying to figure it out. I haven't heard anything that makes any sense to me yet. So I think we're still trying to figure out what the final price or opening price is. I think we're actually going to find out. I think at some point they'll probably release an expected valuation for it when it first opens. But I don't think that it can open up at 1 penny.
It makes sense for them to give an initial evaluation of 1 penny because that's what they're going to write off the books. This is an expense for them.
But you can't have
a dividend.
You can't have a security trading at a penny, though, right?
No. But it's going to shoot up. And the question is, we've never seen this before. So what it reminds me the most of is when you issue new stocks and you give a preference to already the ones that are already stockholders. You create a new ticker where you'll be able to trade the right to buy one stock at a set price. But it's not that. This is something completely new, and I do understand that we're confused. I do understand there's a lot of different discussions because this is completely new. It's not a dividend. It's not a stock offering. It's not a split. It's some ugly kid in between all of that. So confusion is expected, and I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, and the
myself, to be
pennies
honest.
coming right out of our AMC shares. So if
Yeah,
it's more than
exactly.
that, so I don't
By
understand what they say about the books because it's not coming out of their books. It's coming out of our.
Well, it should be coming out of the company, but then you'll de-evaluate the company by the 5 million that it costs. That's how it would usually be with a dividend. So if the
5.16
dividend
million.
was
Yeah.
$1, yeah, you would slam it down with a 513 million in value because you take the money out of the company. But again, as I said, this is not really a dividend. It's something in between all of it at the same time. So I'm not sure what to make of it.
My question is, is it gonna be like an IPO type of thing where, this may go crazy? You can go to $10 in a couple of days.
I don't know the answers yet. I have more research to do, and I know you guys want answers like right away, but I really don't have any answers yet, and there's more research that has to be done, at least from my side, before I can even talk about it.
And yes, Pebbles is what you're saying. On the balance sheet. Apparently, I have the memory of a squirrel as well. I was about to say something really smart. Just imagine it being really smart. Sorry.
Let me tell you the name.
Yeah, Z-Man says, Casey, you should have done your research last night. Haha. Yeah, unfortunately, I had a lot of stuff going on last night that I was unable to get around to doing most of my. I didn't even start my reading until like 9:30. So I wish I would have had more time to do it. Unfortunately, life got in the way. But even if I had all night, even if I had all day to do all the research, I got on a space call last night at like 10:30 as I was getting ready to shut my eyes, and even the guys in the space call, or not space call, Discord call, still didn't have all the answers yet. So, and they had been talking about it for hours. So I'm not in any kind of rush here, and I don't feel like anybody needs to feel like we should be rushed to figure out these answers. I think now is the time where we're kind of brainstorming as to figuring out, like, what kind of questions do we have and how can we go about answering them? Can we find examples from the past in where we've seen similar type situations and what occurred when that happened? So it's going to take a lot of research, and there's no way anybody's getting all these answers in one night. So that's a pipe dream. Not good answers, anyways.
Casey, I actually have a question. Some of the guys in the chat, because we've got smart guys out there, might be able to help out. I'm not sure if I understood that if we vote to dilute the stock, so the Ape becomes the AMC stock, is the Ape going to be directly put forward to be an AMC stock, like 1-to-1, or does it just give you the right to buy AMC at set price or current market price?
Wait. Say that one more time.
Yeah. So for the Ape to become AMC, we have to vote yes on dilution or yes on
No.
new stocks.
The vote for the dilution is later. You don't have to. That vote wouldn't be until they requested us to make.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We're looking into the future.
Okay.
But at that point, we say, okay, yeah, we want Ape to become AMC. Is it then 1-to-1, no matter what Ape price is? Do we just get one AMC share, or do we get the right to buy an AMC share?
Great question.
So I didn't. Yeah. Because that's going to affect the price of Ape.
I think they're converted.
The price should move up or move down from in between AMC and Ape.
I think they're
At
converted
least
into
as soon
real
as we're
shares,
starting.
and it would dilute the price.
Yeah, but they should start getting closer to each other even before the conversion. Then, but if it's only giving you the right to buy an AMC, there's no reason that Ape should shoot up insanely. And I didn't quite catch if it was one way or the other way around, how they're thinking of doing it.
I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. I mean, the way that I read it was that it was a conversion or converted share. Let me think here.
No need to give the answer right now. It was
So
just
every single
I
one
missed out on that.
preferred share would be worth 100, correct? I mean, does that not sound correct? And I think this is where people are getting that 5 billion share dilution from. I think this is that path that people.
Might be. To be honest, I'm not too sure. That needs a little bit of more reading, and since English is not my first language, and lawyer is even less my first language, gonna take me a few times.
Let me open up the document again here. Hold on a second.
No. Casey, let's look at it at another time. You've got to start to follow, and a following that's following you.
Let's see here. So there were 3 different documents that were released yesterday, and one of the ones that I think is most important, or at least seems to be. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're all pretty important, but let me just check this one in particular here.
Hey, I have the answer for the 5 million shares.
Go for it.
All right. 2013, they had 50 million shares that they could actually dilute on as equity. 1/100th of that is 5 billion.
Right.
So that's the answer.
Right. I remember. Were you in the Discord call last night?
No, sir. I was doing DD.
Yeah. I think that's the same thought process that came up last night as well. It would give them the opportunity to be able to convert those into real shares. But again, that all has to be approved by us. We have to approve those conversions. So there is stipulations for automatic conversion that are listed, and that's under the 8A. What is this one? This is one 8A form 8A12B, and there is automatic conversion provision in here. There's a lot of document to read through here. I really need to sit down and just kind of go through this. There's so much to talk about, and so many different things that, different ways this can impact us. It's not even funny. When Adam Aaron talks about playing 3D chess, the unfortunate thing here is that we now have to, and it's not just us, we have to decipher what's going to happen with all of this. But it's also institutions that have to go through this and decipher how it's going to impact them.